Hey, this is Dr. Ernst, host of the Ask Dr. Ernst show. I have a random question for you. Are you tired all the time? I'm talking the kind of tiredness where even caffeine, energy drinks, B vitamins, infusions, medications just won't get you back to that energetic self that we know you can be. Are you someone who even just the thought of doing something tires you out? Listen, it is known that certain viruses can suck the life out of your energy. Long COVID can do that. Epstein-Barr virus can do that. Cytomegalovirus can do that, and the most dangerous of them all, Parvo B19. Unfortunately, conventional medicine rarely looks at these as a source of your energy drain, but if you join me with a brand new ebook that I have written, it'll show you how to test for them, it'll show you what to do for them, and all you have to do is text the word ENERGY, ENERGY. Look, we can even shorten it to just the letter N. RG with your name and email to 704-906-2094. Do it now. You can grab your energy back fast. 704-906-2094. Welcome to Cornerstone Health Center, Charlotte's premier destination for natural healing and regenerative healthcare. If you're tired of chasing symptoms, masking pain, or being told everything looks normal, you've just found a clinic that asks a different question. What's the root cause of your condition? We're an integrated functional and structural clinic offering cutting-edge solutions, everything from precision structural chiropractic care to personalized functional medicine and even advanced nutritional coaching, deep cellular detoxification, and powerful alternative therapies like Hockett ozone sauna, RegenWave therapy, spinal decompression, and PEMF therapies. At Cornerstone Health Center, our mission is clear: to uncover what's holding you back and empower you to become your own doctor. We believe healing doesn't come from a pill, it comes from within. And with the right tools, education, and natural therapies, you can finally take control of your health. Call us today at 704-597-7490 to schedule a complimentary consultation with one of our doctors, or visit us online at cornerstonehealthcenter.com. That's healthctr.com. Your health is a cornerstone. Let's rebuild it together. Hey, my name is Dr. Ernst. I want to introduce you to a revolutionary therapy called Hockett. Hyperthermic, carbonic acid, ozone, transdermal therapy. It combines 10 different holistic and natural therapies in one 30-minute session. Everything from steam to carbonic acid to ozone to PEMF, even microcurrent. The benefit of this, we can target specifically your condition. It could be chronic fatigue. It could be inflammation. It could be joint pain. It could even be fibromyalgia, Lyme's disease, mold toxicity, heavy metal toxicity. With over 100 different settings, we can program this machine specific to your body so you get natural healing from the inside out. Carbonic acid opens the pores of your skin. Ozone then transfers inside. And guys, ozone kills everything. Mold, pathogens, parasites, Lyme's disease. It cleans your blood, bringing you a level of healing that you cannot get anywhere else. The microcurrent will literally zap your body with energy that brings about restoration and rejuvenation by stimulating your mitochondria and opening up your phase 1 and phase 2 detox pathways. If you've been struggling with chronic fatigue, inflammation, joint pains, brain fog, or you have a chronic infection like Lyme or mold or any co-infections, Hockett therapy is exactly what you're looking for. If you're looking for a breakthrough in your health that you cannot find from supplements, procedures, physiotherapies, chiropractic, even traditional medicine, Hockett therapy will provide that for you. Schedule your first session to experience the Hockett difference. Hi, my name is Dr. Ernst, Clinic Director of Cornerstone Health Center. I want to introduce you to RegenWave. This revolutionary technology uses hydroelectric shock to stimulate new blood flow, activate stem cells, and create regeneration. The best part, it can be used on your joints, shoulders, neck, back, hips, feet. Even peripheral neuropathies can improve. The unique thing about RegenWave is this hydroelectric shock wave regenerates mesenchymal stem cells. It activates them so that your bone, ligament, and tendon tissues can actually regenerate. In fact, it even stimulates nerve cells for regeneration. When you use RegenWave, most patients feel changes in as little as 4 to 6 sessions. We're talking activation of regeneration to your joints. If you're looking to regenerate your joints using a non-surgical, non-injective therapy, schedule your consultation. We'll find out if you're a candidate for RegenWave therapy so you can allow your joints to regenerate from the inside out. Hey, good afternoon. Happy Saturday. You're listening to the Ask Dr. Ernst show. My name is Dr. Aaron Ernst, and hey, this is a show where pounds are shed, disease is dead, and where you get to be set free. Today, we're going to be talking about a freedom that most of us do not have, energy. See, a lot of us are bound to our fatigue, to our tiredness, to our just deficit of energy. You would be amazed the number of people that I have texting, calling, reaching into the Ask Dr. Ernst show going, will you please do a series about fatigue? So here we are. We're going to spend the next 4 weeks talking about the everything behind why you're so tired, why you can't recover your energy, why you're not waking up at 4:30 in the morning, bursting with energy, and what we do to get you back on track with your energy again. What I want to talk about today is the hidden drainer. Like, this stuff sucks the life out of your batteries. It is chronic viral infections. We're going to take this deep dive into this honest look as to what I believe is happening inside every single one of you listening. If you're the person who says, no, I have to have the coffee in the morning, I have to have the energy drinks, I sleep 8 hours, I'm not waking up feeling refreshed, I'm not energized. Today's discussion circles around the most common, yet most clinically and medically understood presentation of human health: chronic fatigue. More specifically, the drivers behind why am I so tired all the time? Fatigue, just so you know, in its clinical sense, is not simply I'm tired after taking a nap, or I'm tired despite sleeping 6, 7, 8 hours, or with my coffee, or with my teas, or with my energy drinks, or with my B12 shots, or with my B vitamins. What most people are experiencing today is what I call persistent, unrelenting, nagging, deep fatigue that does not resolve with rest, exercise, diet, sleep, supplements. In fact, it might even get worse as you try to do all the things that make you energized. Most people describe this deep sense of, if I could just have a little more energy to get through my day. So I'm here to share with you a small secret. Number one, I just put the finishing touches on what I call the Energy Reboot ebook. It's going to show you step by step how to get more energy into your life. Look, you can text right now the word energy. You can even just do NRG, energy, ENERGY, or just do NRG send to 704-906-2094. The ebook is going to lay out everything I'm going to do for the next 4 weeks as a part of our Human Energy Crisis series. And it's going to give you resources on what you can do to make your own energy drinks, how to have tremendous amount of energy. It connects the Real Human Diet ebook that I gave away last week to now using the diet to make more energy so that you get healthy. And all you have to do is text the word energy or just the phrase NRG to 704-906-2094. Guys, I'm giving it away free today, just 100% free. So the disconnect, in my opinion, on how somebody feels and what the tests will show is also a big problem. Most people say, I feel just so tired. And you go to your medical doctor, they run tests, and guess what? The tests say there's nothing wrong. Or there's the classics, right? High blood pressure, cholesterol's imbalanced, sugars are off, A1C is a little bit off balance, your electrolytes out of balance, your proteins are high or low. Like, most people cannot pass a standard medical test, sadly. So the challenge is this: when your body is constantly sending a signal saying, I'm so tired, and your labs don't show why, ready, enter the viral fatigue epidemic. That's my show topic today: viral fatigue epidemic. I'm not talking about viral like, hey, we went viral on Facebook. I'm talking about actual viruses that can infect the human body, and that chronic infections of these 3 viruses can make you so tired and fatigued. Dr. Ernst, what viruses are they? Well, Epstein-Barr virus, cytomegalovirus, that's a big one, and now the nastiest of them all, Parvo B19. Here's the unique thing. To understand human fatigue at like a really deep level, it is necessary for us to talk about this controversial topic about how there's acute viral illness and there's chronic viral illness. So one of the most significant things you guys will know is an acute viral infection. It looks like this. I wake up, I'm achy, I have a fever, I've got a cough, a sniffle of this. When I blow my nose, it's blue, green, yellow, red. I don't know, usually not blue, but you get the idea. It's colored. It's this crud, it's an infection, right? You run to your doctor and like, you have a sinus infection. And so they give you their meds for whatever they give you. Sadly, 99% of sinus infections are viral, and you'll walk out with an antibiotic. Like that just shows to me the idiocracy of modern medicine today. They don't stick a nasal swab up your nose, culture it, and go, whoa, that's Epstein-Barr virus. You're not going to get any benefit with an antibiotic. No, see, they don't do that. Just they throw antibiotics at every infection, assuming that you have a bacterial infection. Now, could it be a bacterial sinus infection? Sure. But most of the time, it's a virus. Okay, so an acute viral infection. You guys remember COVID, right? In the acute state, what was it? Massive headache, difficulty breathing, symptoms of the flu. Everybody was like, well, is it the flu or is it COVID? Is it flu or is it COVID? Loss of smell, loss of taste. Oh my God, it's COVID. Okay, so the acute infection. Now, guess what? We have since, it's been 6 years, guys, since the whole lockdowns and breakdowns and freakouts. Now we know there's long COVID. Ready for this? Chronic, long-standing, viral infection of a low dose. So you have chronic COVID, that could be one of them. Epstein-Barr virus. What is Epstein-Barr virus? I know right now the phrase Epstein brings to mind something else. We're not going to go there. It is what it is. But Epstein-Barr virus is a physical virus. It causes mononucleosis in its acute state. So if you remember this when you were of college age years, you know, you went to school, you start hanging out with people other than your mom, your dad, your brothers, your sisters, and you start dating and you start hanging out with people and you start kissing and you start, we're just going to leave it at that. You get exposed to other people's cooties. So mononucleosis is something almost every single human being got at some point. And in an acute state, yeah, it's, fatigue, fever, chills, this, that, nausea, sinus, earaches, etc. Mononucleosis acutely. But if you don't fully get rid of the virus, that virus, Epstein-Barr, can go deep into your body and wreak havoc on your health and your energy. There's cytomegalovirus. Again, a big word, right? Cytomegalovirus. There's parvovirus. Guys, these are the viruses that we know when you have them in a chronic, long-standing state, physically sucks the life out of your energy. Good news, you can be tested for these things. But bad news, medical doctors, most conventional physicians, and even the urgent care clinics and the walk-up clinics, they're going to test you for the acute version. You don't have Epstein-Barr virus. We ran IgM. We ran the antibodies. There is no infection of the IgM. True, because IgM is the antibody that comes out in the acute phase. What if you don't have acute, but you have chronic? Now you enter into what's called immunoglobulin G. Look, I know this is a little tough for some of you. You're like, wait, Dr. Ernst, like you lost me at Epstein. Like I heard Epstein and my mind went somewhere else. Come back, like you can do this. You said cytomegalo, and I'm like, cytolo-what-malo? There's too much medical jargon. Okay, real simple, guys. Chronic viral infections cause massive fatigue. If you seek out a physician who knows about this, our group, Cornerstone Health Center, Ask Dr. Ernst, we can test you for chronic virus infections. It's easy. It's a blood test. We're looking for what's called immunoglobulin G. I know we have to talk about human immunity, and I know this might be hard for some of you, but guys, it's 2026. Come on, we can do this. There are different styles of immune reactions to a virus. If you have an acute, meaning you have a virus right now, and it's like in your sinuses or in your lungs or in your body, in your blood, you will have antibodies that are called IgM. I remember this because M is Marine. Marine. The Marines go to battle first, right? They're on the front lines. They're the ones getting slaughtered. And they're the ones that are like, let's do this. So you got to remember, IgM is your immune system's Marines. So if you have a lot of Marines floating around in your blood, guess what? You have an active infection going on right now. Can we run IgM antibodies for COVID? Yes. Can we do it for Epstein-Barr virus? Yes. Can we do it for cytomegalovirus? Yes. Can we do it for Parvo virus? Yes. Hepatitis, herpes, we can do it as shingles. We can do all of it. We can run varicella, the flu. We can run panels to see if you have infections. So remember, if you walk into an urgent care and you're like, can you test me for chronic Epstein-Barr virus? It might be causing my immune system deficiency and my chronic fatigue. They're going to say, nope, we cannot. And the reason for that is you need to test a different antibody. Remember, urgent care. Is this something urgent? Are you infected now? Are you going to die now? Chronic care clinics, notice there's a difference. Chronic care clinics are what we are. We take care of people with chronic disease, not urgent disease, but chronic. So if somebody comes into my office and they're complaining that they're massively tired despite doing everything right, my first thought is, have you had a viral panel run so we can see if you're infected with low-dose chronic viruses? And guess what? 100% of every patient I've ever talked to says, wait, what? You can do that? Yeah, it's like a simple blood test. I can send you to LabCorp. I can have the results back in 2 days, and we're going to find out why you're so tired. I mean, think about how powerful this is. So again, if you're looking for help, the letter N, the letter R, the letter G, texted to 704-906-2094. I'll send you an ebook. It'll show you the viruses. It'll show you the panels. Shoot, I'll even give you the order form that you can walk into the labs and pay for them by yourself, or you can get a discount if we do it as a physician because you only pay our costs. It's that simple, guys. Just NRG, send your name and your email to 704-906-2094. 704-906-2094. Okay, Epstein-Barr virus, COVID, cytomegalovirus, and parvovirus B19. These viruses may not be 100% eliminated by your immune system. Instead, they can establish what's called a latent embedded infection. So during this time, they're not active, so you won't have a cough or a fever or a sniffle or a runny nose, but they go into the tissues of your body and they can lay dormant. The distinction between inactivity and the control of your body is critical because it implies that under certain circumstances, this is very important, guys, the viruses can shift from chronic to acute. Did you see it? Chronic to acute. They go from the IgG, you won't feel it, but we can see it, to the IgM, you'll feel it and see it. So let's talk first about Epstein-Barr virus, okay? I know the phrase Epstein is in there, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Epstein-Barr. It's a virus. It is one of the most well-studied examples of the phenomenon of a virus causing human health issues. Yet, the long-term implications are very rarely discussed in your primary medical clinic. So here's what happens. The initial infection, which may or may not show up as mononucleosis, okay? So these viruses, Epstein-Barr viruses, they love what are called your B lymphocytes. Again, I know it's a Saturday afternoon and you're like, oh, I have to learn, Dr. Ernst. Okay, yes, if you want to be your own doctor, you want to get rid of your fatigue, you do have to learn a couple things. B lymphocytes are a component of your immune system. They're basically just a white blood cell. Excuse me. So Epstein-Barr virus goes into these white blood cells. And at that point, they start to infect your immune system because they hide in the immune system cells. So reactivation of Epstein-Barr virus does not mean that you're going to have like a cough, a fever, a sniffle, a runny nose. It means instead, number one, persistent fatigue. Do you see the connection? If you're tired all the time, there's a huge chance you have chronic Epstein-Barr virus. It also leads to a sense of difficulty concentrating, memory loss, a general sense of just, I'm not feeling myself. Okay, one of the most significant impacts that Epstein-Barr virus has is it shuts off your mitochondria's ability to make energy. It'd be like pouring water in your gas tank and going, why is my car not working? I filled it up with water. I don't understand why it's not working. Because it sucks the life out of your engine. In addition to what Epstein-Barr virus does to your energy, it is now increasingly connected to autoimmune disease, specifically people with thyroid problems. So if you've been told you have Hashimoto's, if you've been told you have a hypothyroid, there is, ready for this, a 9 out of 10 chance that that thyroid condition, the fatigue from it, the hypothyroid, the autoimmune thyroid is actually an infection of Epstein-Barr virus presenting itself as thyroid dysfunction fatigue. Ding, 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 ding. Do you see this? Epstein-Barr virus, when chronic, shows up as thyroid problems. Thyroid problems are usually tired, fatigue, achy, can't lose weight. And it can also suck the life out of your mitochondria, and it also sucks the life out of your energy. And that's just one of them. Next, we have cytolomegalo. So again, if you're listening to my voice and you're like, whew, I've never heard this before. I wonder if I have viruses in my body. It's a very inexpensive test. I think it's like $200. Dr. Ernst, did you just say $200 is inexpensive? Yes. Most of us spend that much on crap every month. Just literally crap, lattes and electronics and just junk we don't need. The best thing you could ever invest in is your energy systems of your human body. The more energized you are, the more productive you are. The more productive you are, the better you work. The better you work, the more you get paid, usually. The more you get paid, now you can afford other things that you couldn't before. So get your energy back. Your body wants to pay you forward, but a lot of you are just struggling with your energy. So look, if you want the way out, so you want a discount on your labs, ENERGY. Just text the word energy to 704-906-2094. All we need, look, 3 of you just texted energy with no name and no phone number. Shame on you. We need your name and your email so we can send you the ebook. Look, if you text the word energy, my team's going to say, thank you. Please send your name and email. So help us to help you. Name, email, and the catchphrase energy. You can also just text the word or the letter N and the letter R and the letter G because energy, right? Get it? N-R-G. Energy. Okay, the next virus. Oh, the phone number, 704-906-2094. Okay, so we're having a conversation, if you're just tuning in or joining us, on the chronic epidemic of human fatigue. We're so tired. At least most of you are. Okay, I have since ridded my body of all these viruses. I am like the Energizer Bunny, people say. And this is how you should be too, just so you know. I get 6 hours of sleep. It's about all I need. And I'm up at 4. So you can do the math, right? So I just go and go because I'm full of life and vibrance and energy. And it took me years to get to this. Okay, part of me being a physician is doctoring myself, doctoring my family, taking care of my team. I have 15 people that work in our main clinic. I want them so vibrantly alive and healthy that when you walk in, you're like, whoa, what the heck is going on in this place? How come everybody is so happy, healthy, whole, vibrant, alive? I want that. You can have it. Okay, cytomegalovirus. That's a big word. So they call it CMV. Epstein-Barr virus is EBV. This one is CMV. And this is very unique because EBV tends to interfere with immune signaling, but cytomegalovirus has a massive toll on your immune system. Okay, this virus requires an ongoing surveillance by the immune system. Now, something called a T cell. Remember, EBV was a B cell. Now we're talking about T cells. And yes, you have T cells floating around. They are part of your immune system. So over time, the constant demand of your immune system having to scan your body for CMV leads to an exhaustion of your immune system, so much so that it becomes very difficult for you to start to fight off other infections. So if you're the person who's like, man, I get the flu every year. I've had COVID like 10 times. Every time I walk into a room, if someone's sick, I get sick. I'm thinking you have a long-standing CMV infection. The concept of immune exhaustion is really important for chronic fatiguers because it highlights the fact that you're spending your energy on trying to rebuild your immune system. So remember, your immune system is one of the most metabolically demanding systems in your entire body. It requires so much energy so that you will divert it away from tissue repair, detoxification, even nerve function, which is why a lot of people who have an infection of CMV, these are those chronically sick individuals who are like, I've done everything. Nobody can find the cause of my issues. I've tried it all. I've detoxed. I've done chiropractic. I've done physiotherapy. I've done functional medicine. I've done integrative medicine. I even went to Mexico. I went to Spain. I went to Russia. No one can help me. That's cytomegalovirus. I guarantee you those people have never been tested for CMV. I've never seen a medical screen from a medical doctor have CMV on it, ever. Yet, if we find it and we get rid of it, your life comes back. So again, if you're listening to my voice going like, wait, that sounds like me. Chronically sick, chronically tired, chronically fatigued, and my medical doctors are saying, we can't find anything wrong with you. And you're like, but I know there's something wrong with me. That's a chronic viral infection. It could be long-standing COVID. We can test for that. It could be Epstein-Barr virus. We can test for that. It could be cytomegalovirus. We can test for that. Now the big one, Parvo B19. I want you to think about this one as an oxygen energy disruptor. Parvovirus is one of the most complex viruses because unlike EBV and unlike CMV, which is more on your immune system, parvovirus goes after your red blood cells. And it interferes with the body's ability to make red blood cells. So it can induce a version of an anemia. And anemia is chronic fatigue and tiredness. Do you see the connection? Red blood cells, of course, keep you oxygenated. And they do a lot of other stuff. They carry nutrients and waste, etc. But primarily they bring oxygen to your cells. So even the most subtle parvovirus infection shuts off the ability for oxygen to get into your cells. So when your tissues don't have enough oxygen, they are forced to rely on very deficient pathways. So the mechanism explains why people with chronic fatigue will have things like anemia, even though their labs look normal, or they'll have difficulty with oxygenation. These are the people who they try to work out and they crash. Like they're on the treadmill for 2 minutes and I can't do this anymore. Or walking up and down the stairs fatigues them. Or even just basic tasks, washing the dishes, taking the kids to school, driving, thinking is tiring for these people simply because they are so under-oxygenated. So now that we know we have long-standing chronic COVID, long COVID, Epstein-Barr virus, EBV, disrupting your mitochondria and your immune system. CMV sucks the life out of your immune system. And parvovirus destroys your red blood cells' ability to deliver oxygen. Each of these mechanisms, and by the way, sometimes you can have more than one. I have one patient who tested positive for all three of them. Massively sick. And we just are working on getting rid of 2 of them because you have to do them in a specific order. And guess what? She's like, oh, my life is coming back. I feel amazing. So if that's you and you want your life back, you want your energy back, you want your fatigue to go away, you want the ability to sleep and wake up and be like, 3 a.m, I'm ready to go, then let's get you de-viraled. Is that a good phrase? Let's get the viruses out of you for real. When I come back from this next commercial break, I'm going to give you the steps on how to do that. How do we get rid of these guys? And I'm going to keep throwing out this offer for you to have a severely discounted viral panel. Look, normally a viral panel, if I do Parvo especially, $500, $600, $700, $800 sometimes. Parvovirus is the most expensive test I've ever seen. It costs my clinic $200 just to order a parvovirus test. And it's not covered by your insurance, so don't start thinking my medical doctor will test this. No, they won't. Even if you ask them to, they're going to be like, yeah, you don't really want that done. So I can talk with you. Just text us. We'll give you pricing if you want. Hey, if you don't want to do the test, no big deal. Download the Energy Heal Thyself ebook. It has everything you need to get rid of viruses, boost your mitochondria, detox the body, and start to get your energy back. 704 704-906-2094. Just need your name and your email, 704-906-2094. Don't forget the word energy, and we will be right back.
You know, we all know about cancer and common cancers, so endometrial cancer, skin cancer, liver cancer, prostate cancer, colon cancer.
Yeah.
These 5 cancers, people who drink coffee have a lower cancer mortality from these. So 5 cancers: cirrhosis of the liver, Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's dementia, the early stage of Alzheimer's called cognitive decline, low risk in coffee drinkers, low risk of type 2 diabetes. Here both decaf and regular coffee work. And if you drink 4 to 6 cups, there's a 40 to 54% reduction in developing type 2 diabetes. And if one already has type 2 diabetes and they drink 2 cups, regular or decaf, there's a 30% reduction in cardiovascular mortality.
What if we told you coffee was good for you?
Coffee is the single highest source of antioxidants in the Western diet. More antioxidants than kale, more antioxidants than 70% dark chocolate, and more antioxidants than blueberries.
In fact, what if we told you that coffee is really good for you?
Research shows that 3 to 5 cups of coffee per day dramatically enhances performance in high-intensity exercise, improves memory, reaction times, and overall cognitive function, decreases risk of depression, promotes weight loss by boosting metabolic rates, reduces risk of type 2 diabetes up to 40%, decreases risk of liver cancer up to 71%, reduces risk of Parkinson's up to 30%, and decreases risk of Alzheimer's up to 65%. Overall, coffee drinkers live longer. People who drink 3 to 5 cups of coffee per day have about a 15% lower risk of premature mortality compared to people who don't drink coffee.
Hey, this is Dr. Ernst, host of the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. I have a random question for you. Are you tired all the time? I'm talking the kind of tiredness where even caffeine, energy drinks, B vitamins, infusions, medications just won't get you back to that energetic self that we know you can be. Are you someone who even just the thought of doing something tires you out? Listen, it is known that certain viruses can suck the life out of your energy. Long COVID can do that. Epstein-Barr virus can do that. Cytomegalovirus can do that, and the most dangerous of them all, Parvo B19. Unfortunately, conventional medicine rarely looks at these as a source of your energy drain, but if you join me with a brand new ebook that I have written, it'll show you how to test for them, it'll show you what to do for them, and all you have to do is text the word energy, ENERGY. Look, we can even shorten it to just the letter N RG with your name and email to 704-906-2094. Do it now. You can grab your energy back fast. 704-906-2094. Welcome back to the Ask Dr. Ernst show. My name is Dr. Aaron Ernst. Hey, if you're just tuning in, we are talking about a massive health issue that most people struggle with on a daily basis: chronic fatigue. That unrelenting energy drain that even though we try to eat right and exercise right and diet right and supplement right and go to our doctors and do all the right things and sleep right and even take energy supplements and energy pills and caffeine pills and energy drinks and B vitamin shots and IV infusions, we're all searching for more energy. Wouldn't you agree? I talked at the top of the hour about how it's 4 viruses that you might have in a chronic state that sucks the life out of your energy: long-standing COVID, Epstein-Barr virus, cytomegalovirus, and parvovirus B19. And we had some people texting in going like, Dr. Ernst, slow down, first of all. Sorry, I get excited. And number 2, how come my doctors have never mentioned these? Well, truthfully, it's because there are very limited numbers of antivirals. We don't technically have a drug that's for EBV, nor do we have one for CMV, nor do we have one for Parvo. Now, there are drugs for COVID, but that's a different story. That was the acute version. There's no drugs for long COVID. So one of the reasons why, Mary, to answer your question during the commercial break, is medical doctors test for acute conditions, things happening right now, like what's going on right now, and what can we do right now to help you not die? So if you have a chronic infection, they will run their panels for viruses, and they'll say, you're good. Be careful. They're running the acute markers only. You might not have an acute COVID or an acute Epstein-Barr or an acute cytomegalo or an acute Parvo. But if you run the IgG antibody panels and they come back positive, then you do have the viral infection. It's just dormant, hanging out, coming back and forth here or there. So if you've ever had people who say like, man, I feel really good for like a couple months, then I crash, and then I feel really good, and then I crash, and I feel really good. During the crash phase, you might test positive for the acute. So we talked about how they play a role in persistent, unrelenting fatigue, cognitive decline, systemic dysfunction, human health problems. And I mentioned that I had just put the finishing touches on an upgraded version of my Energy Heal Thyself ebook. I put in there all the detail about the viruses. I put in there the tests that you can get. I even show you the locations you can go to. Look, you can walk into LabCorp. Hey, LabCorp, I'd like to have the IgG panels for COVID, Epstein-Barr, cytolo, and Parvo B19 order. You walk up to the counter, and they're going to look at you weird, just, They're going to say, do you have a doctor's order? And you go, nope, I just like to pay cash. And they're going to say, well, do you have an account? And you can say, I'll make one. And so they'll send you to a kiosk. You create a LabCorp account. Then you walk right back to that very friendly front desk lady. You know what I'm talking about. She'll slide the glass and she's going to say, hey, can I help you? And you're going to say, I've created my account. I would now like to order long COVID. So COVID, IgG, Epstein-Barr virus, IgG, cytomegalovirus, IgG, and parvovirus, IgG. Now they're going to tell you that that's going to be about $500, $600. So yes, you will have to pay for the test. And when the results come back, you might be like, but Dr. Ernst, how am I a person supposed to understand this? It's real simple. If it says positive, you have it. This isn't rocket science. It's going to say abnormal EBV or abnormal cytomegalo or abnormal Parvo B19. If it's abnormal, it means you have a chronic infection. Now, what do I do then, Dr. Ernst? Oh my God, I just spent $700 on this viral panel and it says I have 3 viruses. What do I do? Well, now we're going to teach you what to do about this. The first step of fixing this chronic viral infection is understanding that medicine is very limited in their ability to treat you for chronic infections. Most standard panels, listen to this, they're going to identify the acute infection, not the chronic. We've already talked about that. They look for the IgM, not the IgG. We talked about that. If IgM is negative, but IgG is positive, the conclusion is usually that the infection was in the past. And that is the mistake that all medical doctors make. Oh, the reason for the IgG is because you had it long ago, and these are antibodies protecting you against that infection. IgG antibodies tell us that your immune system is going, hey, I still have this virus in me, and I'm still remembering how to attack it because it's still there. This is the difference, guys. Medical doctors will tell you, oh, well, the reason you have IgG antibodies is because 25 years ago you had mono, and that would explain why it's there. No. Antibodies die off. They don't stay in you forever. If they did, then why do I have to keep getting vaccines every year? Ding, 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 ding. Why do I have to get a booster for my... So doc, are you saying that once I have an infection, I'll have lifelong immunity? Oh, no. We didn't say that. You must inject our vaccines into you every year to be boosted because antibodies die. Well, then, doc, where are my IgG antibodies coming from? Well, the infection that you had years ago because the antibodies are still sticking around. Do you see how idiotic they are? An IgG positive means you have a chronic infection of a viral source. An IgM means it's acute. So if IgM is negative and IgG is positive, you just tested positive for chronic infection. So we have to figure out which one it is. So in the case of Epstein-Barr virus, you have to look for several things. You have to look for the IgG of the viral capsid. You have to look for the early antigen, and you have to look for the nuclear antigen. So to do EBV, there's 3 tests. Super easy, though. Elevated antigen levels indicate that you have had and you keep rehaving the infection. Cytomegalovirus, similar, okay? But rather than asking if the virus is present, the question becomes, is the immune system engaging in it or not? So we can physically look for Epstein-Barr virus, but the IgG levels of CMV tell us, are you inflamed because of the cytomegalovirus? So CMV gives us a bigger picture of the ongoing burden of your body. Parvovirus is very unique, okay? Both IgG and IgM is something you have to test, okay? We want to find out. Parvo comes out a lot, and it becomes active a lot. This is why people will be like, oh, I don't feel good right now. And then a couple weeks later, they're like, well, I feel really good right now. And then a couple weeks later, they're like, oh, I'm so tired. Like, even brushing my hair is making me fatigued. Even just looking at my schedule is making me tired. This is a Parvo patient, ready? Even the thought of cooking dinner is making me tired. I just want to sleep. And then the crazy thing is they can't sleep. They physically can't sleep. And if they try to sleep because they're taking, gummies and deltas and GABAs and sleep aids and sleep teas and sleep pills and sleep herbs, they still wake up usually at like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning because their body's going, we're starving for oxygen. The best thing for a Parvo patient, methylene blue. It helps with mitochondrial stimulation and oxygen treatments. Hawkett ozone, hyperthermic carbonic ozone transdermal therapy, one of the things we provide in our Cornerstone clinics. Great for a Parvo patient. Breathing physical oxygen. Parvo patients should have an oxygen generator, real small, little tiny guy on their nightstand, and they should put an oxygen nasal cannula on to breathe oxygen at night. It will revolutionize a parvovirus patient's sleep. How do I know if I have parvovirus, Dr. Ernst? You have to get the blood test. How much is it? It costs me $225 just for Parvo. Okay, that's physician's cost. You might have to pay $400 or $500. So if you want it at cost, just text the word NRG. You guys got it? NRG. The letter N, the letter R, the G, or just the whole word energy, ENERGY, to 704-906-2094. We will send you an ebook on how to solve all this, and we'll ask you, do you want us to run an at-cost panel? Okay, I'm going to throw this out. It's $499 for me to do parvovirus, cytomegalovirus, EMV, HSV, like all of them, guys. Like not just these 4, but all of them, okay? A full viral panel, including Parvo. Parvo is a big deal for a lot of you, and you've never been tested for it. If you're tired all the time, if your oxygen is deprived, if even just the thought of thinking of going to get a test tires you, that's Parvo. Parvo is a very expensive test. So it's $499 if you want the parvovirus, and that's my cost. Okay, I don't make a dime off of it. You pay me $499. I order the test for $499. We'll give you the results. We'll walk you through what to do. $499. If you're like, whoa, that's a lot. Can I do all of them but the Parvo? Yeah, you just take $225 off. So whatever $499 minus $225 is. Ugh. I'm live and I can't do that math in my head. You get the idea. Okay, parvovirus, it's a big deal. So you have to start thinking about it this way. Your immune system is what's supposed to get rid of these viruses. So remember, there is not an antiviral that you can just swallow to get rid of these. We have to instead stimulate your immune system. And once we know which virus is involved, we can help to start going after them more naturally, and we can help you to stimulate your immune system properly. Okay? In our world, the number one stimulant to your immune system is not vitamin C, it's not zinc, it's not vitamin D, it's vitamin S, subluxation. If you have vitamin S, subluxation in your body, we got to get rid of that. A subluxation is the disconnection of your brain through your nervous system into your immune system. If you have a spinal misalignment putting pressure on the vagus nerve, they've proven this, it's in the research, you can Google this, vagus nerve and immune system. It controls your digestive system, which is 78% of your immune system. So we have to work on vitamin S. We have to get that subluxation out of your spine. Okay, then we have to work on sealing your gut. Most of you have leaky gut, or dysbiosis, or a chronic viral, again, infection, or parasitic or fungal infections of your digestive system. How would I know if I have that, Dr. Ernst? Acid reflux, indigestion, bloating, gas, those are the basics, but there's panels we can run. We can run tests to look for leaky gut. We can run tests to see, again, if you have viruses or bacteria or parasites. As we keep adding to the tests, the cost can start getting skyrocketing, so it gets a little crazy. So my suggestion is if you have chronic fatigue and you no longer want chronic fatigue, if you want a ton of energy and you want to get healthy, text the word energy plus your name and email to 704-906-2094. Again, the ebook is yours free. It's education and protocols, and the testing is an offer we're doing for you as our radio listeners and our podcasters and our streamers for just the cost of the test. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but like most physicians will charge the heck out of your insurance and charge you nothing for a panel. So like this panel is probably $1,000 through Blue Cross, Medicare, etc. Okay, I could technically get paid to do what I'm going to do to you, but I don't need to get paid, nor do I want to get paid. What? That seems strange, Dr. Ernst. No, I want to help you heal yourself. It's what I do. Okay, I don't know if you guys know this or not. Like it costs me hundreds of thousands of dollars to do this radio show every year. Literally hundreds of thousands of dollars to be on this station every week teaching you something. Okay, so I invest in this because it helps you. And if we can help you, you can help others. And if you help others, including your family and your friends, we can finally take down the big Goliath of medicine. Okay? They don't want you to do this. Look, I'm surprised this show is even airing. Like, I was amazed. They're like, yep, you can do that show. Okay, so here we go. We have to stimulate your immune system. Immune stimulation number one, find out if you have vitamin S. Vitamin S is very toxic. We got to get that vitamin out of you. Subluxation. Get it out of you. If you need help with that, we have structural clinics that are part of the Ask Dr. Ernst network. There's 2 in Charlotte that I personally own. There's several others though. So like I can help you find someone that can get rid of this subluxation in your spine. Number 2, you have to seal your gut. This is not taking probiotics. This is not eating fermented foods. It's physically using agents to take the gap junctions. Sorry, I hit the microphone. Take the gap junctions and tighten them. Pterohydrates do that. Fulvic acids do it. Humeric acids do that. Dr. Ernst, I don't even have a clue what you're talking about. Download the ebook. Text the word energy plus your name and email to 704-906-2094. Now, could vitamin D, zinc, selenium, and magnesium be low in you? Yes. Partly because the viruses eat those things for food, and partly because you need those for a healthy immune system. But be careful, I am not saying that vitamin D, zinc, selenium, and magnesium boost your immune system. I'm saying you need those for a good immune system to work. What boosts the immune system? Sealing your gut and getting rid of a subluxation. These are the foundational things you must do to get rid of a positive chronic virus. Oh, Dr. Ernst, I thought you were going to say just take these 2 pills and keep going about my day. Nope. I thought you were going to say there was some sort of like, IV I could get that would get rid of the viruses. Nope. Dr. Ernst, like, isn't there a quicker, more efficient way than I have to actually work on my body? Nope. Addressing your immune system is not going to be enough, just so you know. Most people with chronic viral infections have very weak mitochondria. You need to do a mitochondrial makeover. Remember, your mitochondria are what make your energy. I want you to think of them as engines. So look, if you bought a brand new car, let's say you go to the Lexus dealer and you buy like a Lexus SUV, or you get like a Toyota SUV. I'm just going to use an SUV because a lot of people drive them. It can be whatever you want. It can be a Ford, a Honda, it can be a Genesis, it could be a Tesla. Like, pick whatever you want. Okay? And when you're at the dealership, they're like, hey, the selling point of this car, why you should buy ours, is it gets 1,000 miles to a full tank. I don't know if it's true or not. I don't think that's true, but just for the analogy, ready? We're going to sell you a car that gets 1,000 miles to a full tank. And you're going to be like, wow, how many gallons is your tank? And like, it's only 22. So it's the standard size, but you're going to go 1,000 miles. So you're like, man, I'm going to buy this car. And they're like, all right, well, this is a premium car, right? So it's going to cost you $100,000. And you're like, well, I'm going to save money in the long run. I mean, 1,000 miles, think about it, guys, 1,000 miles off 22 gallons of gas. Okay, so then you buy this car, you invest in it, you put it on a loan or a lease, it's $1,500 a month or whatever, I don't know, whatever it is. Okay, so you go home and you're like, I've got a full tank of gas at the dealership. You drive home, 20, 30, 40 miles to your house. And so you drive this car for a week and you're like, wait a minute, I ran out of gas and I only had 500 miles. That would probably frustrate you, right? Because you spent all this money on a car. So you go back to the dealer and you're like, something's wrong. And they're like, well, let's take a look at it. And they're like, they fill it up, they drive it, and sure enough, 500 miles. And they're going to go, whoa, we probably gave you a lemon. Let me give you another one. And so they give you another brand new car and you same thing, 500 miles. Then you give you another one, same thing, 500 miles. That is an engine that is not working to its maximum capacity, okay? 1,000 miles to a tank of gas, but only 500 is the same thing, watch this, as when you eat food, you should get 1,000 miles of energy out of it, but you're only getting 500, 200, 150. Some of you are like, I eat food and I fall asleep. That's negative energy. Your mitochondria have an efficiency that we know and can test for to determine if you take a single molecule of glucose and you turn it into 38 energy units. That's what should happen. Some of you take a single molecule of glucose and you make 8. That's called persistent chronic fatigue. Why? Because these 5 or 4 viruses I'm talking to you about today cause that. Long-standing COVID, Epstein-Barr, cytomegalo, and Parvo virus. Hopefully, you get the idea now. You have to just wake up and go, all right, I might have a chronic viral infection. I'm tired of being tired. I'm sick of being sick. Let me do what Dr. Ernst said. Text your name and your email to 704-906-2094. I'll send you an ebook that will educate you, and I'm going to ask you, do you want us to run an at-cost viral panel? Guys, this is so easy. You don't even have to come to my clinic. All we have to do is shoot you an email. Results are back. You're positive for these 3. Go read the ebook. Now solve it. It costs you only the cost of the lab. Listen, I know there's hundreds of you listening today. I mean, the station channel says there's like 32,000 that could be listening to us. Am I offering tests to anybody? Yep. Guys, it's super easy. Like, we just put your name in a database. We order the test. We email it to you, which is why I need your email address. And we wait about 4 days for the results to come back. This is simple. It's not complicated. The problem is that a lot of doctors won't do this for you. And you're going to say, I know what you're going to say, right? Because I already see 6 of you like, what about my insurance? Won't they cover this? Why do I have to pay the $499? Look, your insurance will not cover a test for a chronic illness, period. If you currently don't have any symptoms, no cough, no fever, no runny nose, no headache, nothing, your insurance won't pay for it. Dr. Ernst, I have all those symptoms. I'd like to have my insurance cover it. They can't. I'm not doing an acute test. I'm doing a chronic viral screening. It is not covered by any insurance company. No, Dr. Ernst, you don't understand. My insurance covers everything. No, they don't. If a medical doctor orders your test, perhaps. I am not a medical doctor. I am a doctor of natural medicine. I'm a doctor of chiropractic. I have a doctor in humanitarian services. I have functional medicine certifications and trainings. I am not an MD. But you say you're a doctor. I am of holistic medicine. It's okay, guys. You don't have to do this. But if you want to get well and you want to get healthy and you're curious if you have these viruses that are known in research to suck the life out of your energy, text the word energy plus your name and email to 704-906-2094. My team will send you the ebook for free, and we will ask you, would you like us to order the panel? If the answer is yes, you'll get a link that just says, please purchase the test, and we will email you the form. You go to LabCorp, you walk right in, you say, here you go. And they're like, whoa, you have a Dr. Ernst order? You get to bypass the line. You go straight to the table. They take your blood, and they'll say, the doctor will contact you in 3 to 5 business days. It is that easy. What happens in 3 to 5 days? We will email you with results with a description of what we found, and it'll show you what you need to do. And you have the ebook. You just turn to the page that says, if you test positive for this, here's what you do. I don't know, like that's, to me, I would do it over and over and over again. Okay, supporting your mitochondria is step number 2. So number 1, we got to get your immune system stronger. Get rid of subluxation, clean out your diet, seal your leaky gut, make sure you're taking your good products and supplements, vitamin D, zinc, selenium, magnesium. Number 2, we got to get your mitochondria stimulated. That will come with cleaning out your diet and your gut, but it also is CoQ10 and something called PQQ, which no one takes, as far as I know, unless you're using our Coenzy Plus. We made this product to have CoQ10 plus PQQ in it because it helps to stimulate the electron transport chain. I'm going to just translate this for you. It's like pouring igniter fuel into your engine. CoQ10, when paired with PQQ, is liquid human energy in a bottle. Oh, Dr. Ernst, can I buy some of that? I mean, if you want to, but remember, that's step number 2. Step number 0 is get tested. Step number 1 is boost your immune system. Step number 2, stimulate your mitochondria. Step number 3, get rid of the toxic environmental loads. A lot of times viruses are paired with heavy metals, pesticides, plastics, because again, viruses are like flies. Flies only hang around waste. So if there's a lot of waste in your body, there'll be a lot of flies. Viruses are flies. I've never walked through an open field of beautiful grass and been blasted by flies. But when I go near the trash, like the dumpsters, I get blasted with flies. So if you understand the analogy, the more trash I get close to in my body, the more viruses I get. What is trash? Heavy metals, pesticides, fungicides, plastics, etc. So the third layer at getting rid of these viruses by yourself is cleaning your body out, because then the viruses have nothing to live off of and they die. Now, is a virus technically a living structure? Well, some people will argue it is, but some people say it isn't. It is usually proteins and sometimes mRNA or DNA. They need a host. Viruses need something to live on or in. So ready for this? If your body is so healthy and you're subluxation free and your leaky gut is gone and your nutrients are replenished, the cells of your body cannot host a virus. It'd be like an Airbnb going, sorry, we don't have the ability for you to stay here. So that virus has to go look for another host. So in my instance, I could walk in a room full of Epstein-Barr, COVID, Cytolo, just floating in the air, and my body would be like, sorry, there's no room for you here. Your body, on the other hand, you might be like, hey, look, there's a lot of room, and we have a lot of food. We have all these heavy metals, and we have all these fungicides, we have all this glyphosate. Come on in, viruses, take over this host. You want to be the most inhospitable host. Is that a good word? You want to be the worst host on the planet for a virus. Your body determines if you get sick or not. Viruses don't cause disease. You can't catch a virus, but you can get it in you if your host environment is weak and the virus then anchors and takes over. I know I threw out a big doozy at the very end, so just mull over that. Look, I got like 30 seconds left for my show. So do this. As we continue to explore these topics over the next couple of weeks, leading up to one of my biggest masterclasses of April, Human Energy Summit. We're going to help you get your energy back. This is the pre-frame. This is the launch, guys. Grab the ebook now. Text the word energy plus your name and email to 704-906-2094. And you'll also be asked, do you want to run the viral panel at cost? And do you want us to show you how to get rid of it for free? Thanks so much for tuning in. I'll see you guys next Saturday. Be blessed until then. Bye-bye.